at different points. As I told you, what is the world? World is a ball, right? World is a ball, and there are different points on the ball. At different points, situation is different. Now that situation at a given point is also different, and with time, at different times, the situation was different. So what is the meaning of this? For example, just for simplicity, suppose I say at the start of every year, suppose let us assume, what is the world at the start of every year, right? So say January 2015, what is the world? 14, the world is different, and it is different not only in the different places, it is different from what is there, what it is in January 2015. Similarly, you go to January 2013, the world is different,
Yes, sir.
and different points is different, and every point it is different from 14 and 15, right? So I told you this thing we have already discussed. This is the time dimension. So with time, world changes at different points. At a given point, world is different based on the place, location, as well as demography, right? So three dimensions: time dimension, place dimension, and demographic dimension. So this much you understand. Now the objective of this, the three sessions which we are going to have today, 3 hours which we are going to spend with you today, is to take you to a next level of understanding of geopolitics. What does it mean? How it is, how the treatment is given to this geopolitics? What is the phenomena? How it is used by the so-called geostrategists, the so-called people who play geostrategies based on geopolitics, and how it affects the world politically, economically, culturally, and in some other point of view also. So the geopolitical environment, what is the phenomena, what it results into, how it affects us, and of course how it affects business. So that is the thing which we are going to discuss today. So you have understood the objective of what I am trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Okay. So let me tell you, this particular session, these three sessions are slightly difficult. So what is geopolitics? Geopolitics indicates the links and causal relationship between political power and geographic space. It's a bit tough definition. It's a bit tough. We'll be starting from this definition. We'll understand things and we'll end up on the same definition today. That is our objective. We have to start from the same lines. We have to end up on the same lines. So that whatever is in between is our understanding. That is our takeaway. So causal relationship and links between two things: political power and geographic space. In very simple terms, very simple terms. For example, Delhi is a geographical place, right? I am using the word not place here. I am using the word space. I told you, I think in the last class,
yes,
that there is a concept of space also. So space is a little higher terms than the place, right? So when we say Delhi, right? When we say Delhi is a geographic place, right? Suppose I say that I belong to Congress. Now Congress is, for example, national party. So Congress in Delhi, Congress in Gujarat, Congress in South. So now Congress is also a place, is also a space, not place, but it's a space, right? And this space has got links with India. And this space may form some changes when it is in Delhi, when it is in some other place. Like for example, when BJP is there, BJP is a different force in Delhi, is a different force in Rajasthan, right? So that's why instead of place, I am using the word space. So though traditionally it strictly applies to geography's effect on politics, geopolitics is concerned in the realm of political ideas, workings, culture, and their differences, right? As I told you, very simple, in very simple terms, when I say geography, I talk of place, right? So it's very easy. I can say Ghaziabad, I can say Mohannagar. It's very easy, right? But that does not actually reflect the political power. I mean, you cannot say that Mohannagar signifies some political power, or say Mangolpuri in Delhi signifies some other power. No, or maybe Frankfurt in Germany signifies some particular political power. No, the term is one level up. So what does it mean when I say political power? When I say political power, what I mean? Political ideas, the way of working, and cultures and their differences. I'll give you one very interesting example. Then you will understand what is the meaning of this. Now, within India, within Delhi, there are different political parties, and at any given point, somebody is in power, somebody else is in power, right? So today, for example, Kejriwal is in power. Now, his political ideas are not the unity of Hindus or unity of Muslims. No, probably not. Or Valentine Day, two people meet and we'll force them to marry. So he will say, "Majal hai kiski haath laga ke dikhaye." Like done. And what actually is the culture of the people? Will people accept it? Exactly. Some political idea is maybe enforceable at some place, and another political idea is probably not possible in some place. Like for example, Delhi is a capital of the country, and people are mostly educated. Economically, they may not be very strong, but education-wise and demographic-wise, they are very good. Never happen. Why? Because of cultural differences. Our culture is definitely different from Pakistan, definitely, no doubt. And why this difference? Is difference because of the last 60 years. So, that is how it works. That is how it works. So it strictly applies to geography and their effect on politics. And let me tell you, it is also possible that the political ideology's effect can be there on the geography also. It is also possible. It is possible. But that effect is not very strong. Can you tell me why? Can political thinking affect the culture and the people? Is it possible? In a short run, is it possible? Just can somebody see? There are two things. One is the effect of geography on politics, and second is the effect of politics on geography. Which one you feel is strong?
Second one.
The effect of
Politics
on geography. Think again. If our political thinking is honesty, suppose. Now let us look at the second point. If our political thinkers are too honest, do you think that everybody will become too honest?
So, for example, in Mulayam Singh Yadav's government now in UP, the people are taking more bribes. Corruption is on its high.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Space. And in the long run, little effect can be little. Yes, obviously there is some effect is always there, but not very strong. But the reverse is very strong. Reverse is very strong. We are living a particular life of democratic system, secular system. It's very difficult to change. No political parties, no political ideas. It's very, very difficult. It will take some years, right? That is what I'm saying. But at the same time, it is also true that our political power in last 60 years have definitely changed the way our geography works, for negative and positive. But it is definitely better than many countries. Definitely better than Pakistan, definitely better than Bangladesh, definitely better than Sri Lanka, and probably better than China also. Because China economically may be very strong, but politically they are much backward than us, obviously. So we are, as an individual, we are much better off than China. So in last 60 years, our political power has an impact on the geography, on the people, on the culture, has an effect, but very good effect. Overall if you look, and nobody can change it overnight. It's not possible. So this part you understood, and this is the simple principle. In the whole geopolitics, it works like this, and that is how you get the outcome. And that effect is different at different geographical points. Like Pakistan, it is different. India, it is different. China, it is different. Burma, it is different. Burma has been under military power for a very long time. So obviously, it is impacting their psyche. It is different for North Korea. It has changed the psyche of the people of geography. When defined in terms of location, point, location. That's why I told you space. When I say space, it is not just location. It is something else. What is that? Location, size. Just if you say Ghaziabad, Ghaziabad means Ghaziabad as a place, Ghaziabad as a district, Ghaziabad as a highly dense area. If you compare Ghaziabad, for example, with Noida, Noida is sparsely populated. Ghaziabad is right. So that all this population density, and then working the how the people work. What is the working style? Just if you compare the working style of UP people and Gujarati people, you will find that working style would be different, right? And the culture also varies. So way of working and culture, they are two different things. And when I say working, I normally mean business, how they carry out their business. At a given location, resources may be available, may not be available. I will give you one very good example of this. Now, what is happening in Delhi? Kejriwal has promised power, cheap price, water free of cost, right? Now, what Modi says, है कहाँ तुम्हारे पास? You neither have electricity, nor you have water. जब मैं धुआं तभी तो सस्ता करोगे. मैं धुआं वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग से दिल्ली जो पानी लेता है वो सफिशिएंट नहीं है.
सर मोदी किलर्स नहीं है.
हाँ नहीं, whatever it is. But the point is, Delhi as a place is also a place where water is not available. See, we can look at Delhi from several point of view. One is the strategic point of view. अरे दिल्ली से तो सारी रोड्स निकलती हैं. Delhi is well connected with Chandigarh. Delhi is well connected with Jaipur. We can look at Delhi like that also. We can look at Delhi also. Oh, Delhi तो देश की राजधानी है. We can look at from that point also. मैं समझ रहा हूँ आप क्या कहना चाह रहे हो. When it comes to responsibility.
सर इंडिया कैपिटल है.
हाँ मैं आपको आप जो बात कहना चाह रहे हैं मैं बताता हूँ. Delhi as a geography is dependent on resources from other places. But Delhi is also providing livelihood to so many people coming from these states.
Yes, sir.
Right? ये तो give and take है.
Yes, sir.
Resources matter. Now, whatever example I am giving holds true not only for Delhi, it holds to around the world. अब किसी भी दुनिया of educated people, so size can be in from different perspective, right? Was first used by a person called Rudolf Jalin. In early 20th century. What is the meaning of early 20th century? कौन सा year हुआ? Early 20th century का meaning क्या हुआ?
19.
Beginning of 19. So, for example, 1901, 1902, right? He was the first person to have understood that there is something called geopolitics. In the modern history, it was first used by Rudolf Jalin, right? But it was made popular by a person called Mckinder. Person called Sir Halford Mckinder. He was from UK. Okay. Now I will discuss with you what he said and how he looked at the world. I'll give you, what was his perspective of the world. Perspective definitely changes with time, right? That is when I say he was there in 1904. So how many years back? Approximately 110 years. Approximately. So 110 years. What was the perspective will be definitely different from the perspective we have So now let us look at the perspective of Mckinder, who gave a theory of the Hardline Theory. Hardline Theory of geopolitics. So how he looked at the world? He looked at the world as a island. If you see the land power, you can see land power. So he said that the world has got an island, and which is the island? The island is blue and red. This is the island. He called this island as Heartland. Like this is the heart of the world. Today, if you look at the world this way, probably it will not be very, very suitable. But at that time, why he looked at the world from this point of view? Can you give me one reason why the perspective of him would be different from the perspective of somebody of the same stature today? There is one very strong reason why the perspective will be different. Can you tell me the reason? He was from UK. Okay. So he was somewhere here. He was in the UK means he was somewhere here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I take it that people at different places will look at the world from a different. But will that be so different? If you, for example, there is a person today in England only at the same point. Will he look at the world the way he has looked at? Do you think that this portion you will look as the most powerful portion?
Yes,
This Russia. Do you think that you will still look the world today like this?
No, sir. No, sir. We mostly look towards
The power center? No. But my question is, why his worldview would be very different from today's? Give me some few reasons. Very strong.
Because the Britain countries all acquiring the other countries like India and other countries. So that's why we must have this is the heart of the whole world.
The one very strong reason for a different perspective. I take what we are saying, but I tell you the one I'll give you one example. There are many examples, but one very strong. The technological advancement. In those times, if somebody had to fly from one point to another point, first of all it was not possible, or probably it was not affordable, flying from one place, right?
Yes.
It was not even affordable even to fly down your military, right? So you cannot, for example, strike at some country by air. Missiles were not there. Air power was not there of that type what we have today. So accessibility was different because of technological differences. So when accessibility is less, obviously the strategic value of different place would be different. Today, a place will have a different strategic value than 110 years back. Why? Because the technology available at that time made some other place more strategic than today's. I'll give you one more example, then you will understand me. Today, in USA you have got Hawaii Islands, right? They have very good strategic importance today, and their living standard is very high. Per capita income is also very high because of tourist population. Then it had that time. That time it was a periphery. It was a place of prison. It was called Kalapani. Today, because of demographic and time dimension, the place dimension is affected, right? So that time the place was, geopolitically, the most powerful place was this place. Can you tell me one reason why it is? Why Mckinder thought that this part of the island, what is the island? This part of the island is most powerful. Give me one very strong reason why he would have thought like that. Why would he have thought that this red area is the power center of the world? One strong reason. So my question is, why Mckinder would have thought that this part of the world has to be technically more powerful in those times?
Sir, maybe of the geopolitical Reason of the region.
Geopolitical?
The reasons of the region.
वही तो पूछ रहा हूँ. That is what I'm saying. कि geopolitically, देखो geopolitical thinking started, and with the geopolitical thinking, he created a map of the world.
Yes, sir.
Away from sea.
Yes, sir.
उस जमाने में एयर पावर was not there. Majority attacks were through sea power only. Taking the army by land was difficult that time. So why he said this is powerful is because of the safety angle. Safety from the attacks. और जिस prosper more, right or wrong? भाई बिजनेस क्या कहता है कि अगर आप because of the cold, the ships cannot come. They can only come for 15 days of the year. Rest of the time it is all snow. That time there was no technology to navigate the ship in snow. Even today those ships are very, very expensive ships. Even today, right? Today you can navigate ships here for 2 months in 1 year, only 2 months, right? And using the ship cutter ships, you can extend that time only for another 2 months. So you can take ships from this part, which is a sea, only 4 months today. That time it was only 15 days. In 15 days किसी आर्मी को लेके आना, do you think it is possible?
No.
So this portion was inaccessible. This portion was having a cushion,
Yes.
right? So this was the most safe place. That's why Mckinder thought that this is the geopolitically most safe
Yes.
and it will become the most powerful place, obviously. And actually it became.
Yes.
Russian power was very strong that time already. Russia was very strong, right? And this blue color was the rim land, very vulnerable from attacks. Attacks of whom? ये सारे जितने भी यहाँ पे लोग रहते हैं बार सहारा,
ऐसा डेजर्ट
सारा डेजर्ट्स, उनको पार करना इम्पॉसिबल, समुद्र से भी ज्यादा मुश्किल है. समुद्र से तो पहुंच जाओगे उनको, वो तो लैंड क्या, वो तो लैंड का ही बाप है. So this was a safety already here, right? And then this was vulnerable. This place was vulnerable. But again it was also desert here, right? So this blue color was a very vulnerable place. It is called rimland, and all other places are periphery world. So he divided the world in 3 parts. One is the power center, the heartland, red color. Then blue color, that is rimland, and the white color, the periphery. यानी कि वो यहाँ तो वो आपस में लड़ते मरते रहेंगे, वो तो सब गवार जाहिल लोग हैं, आपस में लड़ते मरते रहेंगे. Most refined people are here, the fighters are here, and jahil are here. All the gawar jahil. So that was the geopolitics of that time,
Yes.
right? Geopolitics of that time. Clear? But today this theory is not applicable. You cannot have. Why? Mainly because of technological advancement, transportation, finance, technology, telecommunication. All these things have changed, and especially they have changed in last 30 years. So today's geopolitical map is different. World का map वही है, but geopolitical map is changed. The importance of different place and the political power has changed. That is what I am trying to tell you. That is the geopolitics, right? Now, one question I want to ask you: that what made Mckinder come out with this theory, and who was using this theory? Who's used this theory was that time? And the empires, Roman Empire, or the Russian Empire, or the Mongolian Empire, or the Chinese Empire, or the Indian Empire, or the Gulf Empire, and the European Empire. ये लोग they knew कि भैया हम तो भैया ब्लू कलर में हैं, हमारी ये परेशानियां हैं, these are the challenges, these are the opportunities, right? And they had very less challenges. That's why Napoleon, Napoleon, who hailed from this place, Napoleon, right? After a very, very long time, he decided to enter this area. Very, very long time. In spite of being here, right? You know, like it was true. Actually, it was very safe. His defeat, and that was the start of the decline of Napoleon. उसके बाद जब हर घर का आदमी बिना लड़े मर गया, तो सारे लोग नेपोलियन के अगेंस्ट हो गए. आइलैंड के ऊपर नजरबंद कर दिया गया, right? After some time. So this is the story of Napoleon. So and it is very much connected with the Mckinder theory. So again geopolitical. So now you understand that geopolitically these geopolitical things were applied in what ways? By armies, by businessmen, and things like that. And most of the business people would like to have their head offices that time in this power center only. So Moscow, Leningrad, they were very big. The only problem happened, they came out of the business map after the revolution in Russia. Revolution हो गया ना? जो पहले czars थे, very powerful czars, वो बहुत पैसे वाले हो गए. Actually, why revolution took place in Russia?